If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. It's Conway Show. It's Tuesday. Mark Thompson.
Thank you, everybody.
Right here,
I'm overwhelmed and honored.
And we're only on for 2 hours.
I know. It's a...
Then we have
the debate.
CBS News vice presidential debate at 6 p.m.
And they proclaimed it proudly that they're not going to fact check. I like that this is a bragging point now.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, let's keep it moving here. We don't have time to check facts.
That's right. Let everyone at home check their own facts.
Yeah, check your own facts.
Yeah. Well, as opposed to just check one guy,
Yeah, exactly. Like the last one. It was 3-on-1.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it was 3-on-1, the last one.
Right. I know what you're doing. You're doing this for your podcast.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you are. Because you have to super serve your hatred for Trump on your podcast.
That's it.
That's true though.
Well, here's the thing. It's actually not on my podcast, but when I'm on with you, people will write to me and they'll say, "Oh, you let Tim Conway Jr. walk all over you. Oh, you never say anything back at him. You let him get away."
Yeah,
with
but those are people from your podcast.
I don't think so. Maybe they
sure
are.
They are.
Maybe they're okay. But anyway,
wait. So people say that, and you read that?
No. You know what? No, I never read it on the air. I'm just mentioning it for the first time to you now. But I will tell you what I say to them, and I really mean it. Hey, I'm not there to, check Conway on stuff. Right. I'm really not. I'm not here to, So
and look, and the reason I don't go on your podcast is I don't go on to check you either.
Exactly.
You do your thing, I do my thing.
Right. You don't want the stink of my podcast on you.
That's right.
I get it.
That's right.
Anyway, so I apologize for even a bit of mockery on the first.
No. But buddy, listen. I honest to God, I have had it with politics only because it doesn't bring people together. It separates them.
Agree.
And there are people in my family that don't talk to one another because of politics.
Yeah.
There are friends of mine who have shut down because they're political. Like this is a weird reaction. I have a friend who's never into politics in his life. Right? Never mention it. Probably doesn't know. Couldn't name you 3 senators from the last 200 years in the United States. Could probably not name you 5 of the past presidents. I'd probably be very tough to do that. And I saw him, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so ago, and he said, "How's it going at the station?" I said, it's going good. We're just getting by. It's really political out there. And he goes, "I hope Donald Trump and his whole family get cancer and they die in a plane crash."
No,
I'm like,
that's
what?
pretty brutal. That's ridiculous.
I said, "What's going on with you, buddy? Have you ever met him? Does he owe you money or something?" But that kind of hatred for somebody that they've never met, I think that's kind of reserved for somebody who's killed somebody in your family.
No, I don't get
It's
that.
odd.
That's wrong. But you're right. That's kind of a sign of where we've come. Like
That's
it's evolved that dangerously. I have a guy who really is somebody I play cards with occasionally, and doesn't really have a lot of money. In fact,
because of cards.
Yeah, I think because of some bad gambling habits and stuff. And
Is he in this room?
He's a big Trumper because he says, I'm angry about the inheritance tax.
Oh, is that right?
I'm thinking, dude, you don't need to sweat the inheritance tax. Okay, you're not right. Your family's not wealthy. You're not wealthy.
Oh, is
that the hill you're going to die on? The inheritance tax. so everybody's got their thing, whether it's legit for them or not.
Yeah. And look, it's fun to argue once in a while. But God Almighty, it consumes everything.
I wouldn't cut anybody off. There are people in my family and my crew. There are more than one that disagree with me on politics. I would never cut them off. I mean, it's just not and I would have civil conversations with them.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But I don't know. What's going to be the outcome of like, let's say, all right, let's do both scenarios. Trump loses. Okay. Let's say Trump loses and Kamala Harris becomes president. Do all the shows that rely on hating Trump for their audience, do they still bang on him when he's a private citizen in Florida, or what do they do?
Well, there's a major movement that he's part of, so I suspect that the MAGA movement continues. And so, you did...
No, I'm talking about the anti.
No, I that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
But so you'll have something to still be anti about. In other words, you still have the MAGA movement. Trump is not going to shut up all of a sudden just because he lost. He's going to contest it, et cetera. So I think there'll be a lot in the way of media that you can still continue. If that's your thing, the jihad can continue, even if Trump loses, I think.
Right. Okay. All right. Then the other scenario, what if Trump wins?
Right.
And then, do these shows go into overdrive? I mean, I guess they continue with.
I mean, you had that in already 2016 when he won, and you had the highest ratings ever for the MSNBCs. And
so you think they secretly hope he wants to be president?
I think they're probably in some C-suite somewhere, and that the CEO of Mediaville,
or some guy the guys in accounting probably like to see him in there.
I mean, there is a benefit, no question about it. Trump's good copy. He's good for that world.
And all right. So the big story today is is obviously Israeli getting hit again. I can't believe that. And I got a theory on this. And you probably know more about Israel and the Middle East than I do. I don't spend a lot of time with it. But I am fearful that Iran knows what they're doing. That Iran is throwing these really sort of antiquated, low technology drones at Israel to use up all the anti-missile ammunition that Israel has.
Oh, I see.
And then going to throw in the major ones because they haven't thrown in. These Iranians. You say what you will, but man, they've got some technology there.
Oh yeah,
and they're able to pinpoint Israel from Iran with these really sort of ancient drones and rockets.
But I thought they did fire missiles today.
I think one or two of them was one of their high-powered,
like the real thing.
Right, the real thing. But I have a fear, man. I got a nightmare scenario, and I think about this late at night that all of their crappy drones that guys like you and I could build, take advantage of the United States off the coast and the Iron Dome or whatever the thing is called over Israel. And then once they're all out of ammunition, the big rockets come in.
Wow.
And I think that's going to be an unbelievable disaster.
That's a fascinating theory. I mean, it's certainly true that...
Because why would they throw crap at them like this? They know they're going to be intercepted.
There is something to this. I mean, there are a couple of things going on, right? One is that you've essentially got Israel in a three-front war, or at least a confrontation anyway. I don't know if you call it a war yet. With Hezbollah, Gaza, of course, and Yemen. And then you add Iran. So, you have four. So... the situation is very, very volatile and could easily spill over into something bigger. But the one thing I would say is that the Iranians don't really want it to get bigger either. And the biggest reason for that is the United States. I don't think that they want a war with the United States. And I don't
think the United States wants it either.
No, of course not.
Because Iran is not Iraq.
No, of course. But I think that, these things, there's a law of unintended consequences, right? But one of the reasons we parked that carrier off the coast is to say, hey, guys, this has to stop because we will get involved. So I'm hoping that will be enough. But I have the same fear as you do. I really do.
I think it's creeping towards war. I really do. because you get and especially the worldwide, it seems like everybody's broke for some reason, and if you think you're broke here in the United States, there's a lot of people really broke in that part of the world, and the only people that seem to have a thriving economy that is moving the world forward in that area is Israel. Gaza's had a tremendous amount of problem. You can't really sort of get ahead in Gaza and do any technology when you're looking for food for your family. And then what I know about Lebanon, Lebanon used to be the jewel of the Mediterranean.
That's exactly right.
Beirut was spectacular.
They call it the Paris of the Middle East.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's wild though. Hezbollah runs Lebanon, so that is
right. And Iran runs Hezbollah.
Exactly.
And so, man, it's really, look, it's complicated, and there's a reason why every president has said we're going to solve it, and nobody can do it.
Yeah.
Nobody even comes close. But anyway, so that's the big story there. We're watching, Helene, the fallout for that storm is incredible. And there are areas where we still haven't gotten to in North Carolina, in Georgia, that are really in the outback, and people in the mountain gang there. It's really tough to get to. Lots of flooding, and you see these heartbreaking photos. I don't know if you saw the photo of the two grandparents with their grandchild on top of a roof of a house. That was the last picture they took before that house was washed away. The two grandparents and the grandchild just washed away, gone, and they'll never find them. They're still looking for people. Remember, we had that flood up in Santa Barbara.
Sure, the mudslide,
Montecito,
yeah,
and that there are still, I think, 25 or 30 people missing from that flood, and that is a very controlled area that we all knew where it was.
It happened in an instant there, right?
Right, yeah, and the big boulders come down and just wipe everybody out. So I bet they will never find most of the people that are missing in North Carolina.
It's profoundly
It is horrible.
sad.
Horrible.
Yeah.
All right, at 6 o'clock, we have the debate coming up, the CBS News vice presidential debate at 6 p.m.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
I remember when I was, I've only been on unemployment once in my life. I think I was 23 or 24. And somebody said, "Are you embarrassed to stand in that line?" And I said, "No. I'll stand in any line. When you get to the front of it, they give you a check. I'm in. There's no shame at all."
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Plus, we pay for it, don't we?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unemployment's the greatest. Have you ever been on unemployment?
I should have been, but I...
Too lazy?
It's not that. I mean, there may be a component of that. Most everything in my life has some component of me being too lazy. But I think that what happened
I'm
was
with you.
It was from it's through my kind of like, I'm paid through my company, and in order to prove that you're unemployed, you can't, have your own company. You don't
I
like
see.
LLC
right,
type thing.
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm lazy to the point where somebody sent me a really good insult. I like the really good ones, the ones that are really clever. And I meant to write him back saying that's one of the best ones I've heard. And I just got too lazy and I just threw it away. But I mean, I wish I'd saved it. It was a really detailed insult. It was like a full page.
There's nothing better than the angry email.
Oh, but especially when somebody's creative about it. It really and knows a lot of the show. When he did this and this and this sucks and this sucks and this and that. It was really detailed.
Well, I get this, and I'll get this even on what we do. So I've been listening for years, and you and Conway are how I spend Tuesdays.
Oh,
and
that's
you
great.
do this and you do that and you do this. But when you said this, I was like, okay, really, dude?
Right. So
you've been with me all these years. You love all this stuff, but there's one comment that is like where I'm disqualified immediately.
Right, and that's, again, a lot of it comes back down to politics.
Yeah, or just being wound too tight.
Yeah, maybe.
I let people slide.
But look, I understand that people burn out of listening to you, because if you listen to somebody for, like let's say somebody listens on the average of a half hour or an hour a day on their ride home, eventually I'm going to say something that irritates you. And people are going to go, F that guy. I knew he was like that. After 20 years, he said something like, whatever it was. He hated my favorite restaurant.
Yeah,
or something
maybe.
like that. F that guy.
I hear what you're saying, but it's I tend to be. I guess I go for my own attitude, And I don't disqualify someone based on one comment. I just don't. Or even one position.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I like to.
You're much tougher than me.
Yeah. John Amos died. That guy was great.
He was great.
He was terrific.
He was in Good Times, Roots.
Yes, there's a lot of great things. He was in a Disney movie called The World's Greatest Athlete. One of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if anybody has seen it. Anybody? Nobody? Okay.
Kurt Russell?
No, it was, I can't remember who was in it. It was World's Greatest Athlete. John Amos was a coach. And I think it was, I don't remember who the World's Greatest Athlete was.
What kind of athletics were they involved in the World's Greatest?
I'll tell you the story. Okay. It's two football coaches who go to Africa and they discover an unbelievable athlete and they bring him back to the United States and he wins game after game after game.
Jan Michael Vincent.
And
your dad, Tim Conway.
Oh, that's right. Is he in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
they found Jan Michael Vincent in Africa?
In Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a reach. That's a little bit of a stretch.
It's a documentary.
Okay.
And it's a great movie. And Jan Michael Vincent was terrific. And John Amos, I almost said Amos. Because I hear on some radio station them calling him John Amos.
Oh, what is it? It's supposed to be
John Amos.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, right? John Amos. But some people call him John Amos. All right, here we go. John Amos.
Learning, beloved actor John Amos has died. His publicist says Amos died.
I don't know what
it might be John Amos.
John Amos.
It might be.
Learning, beloved actor John Amos has died. His publicist says Amos died August 21st.
Yeah, he gave us an Amos, right?
It's weird that he died a while ago. I mean,
yeah, in August. August 21st.
So why?
Over a month ago.
I wonder why they've been so slow to release the news.
I think they've been debating on how to say his name.
That could be.
For a month.
His publicist says Amos died August 21st of natural causes here in Los Angeles. His storied career began as Gordy the Weatherman on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was Gordy the Weatherman.
Gordy.
Oh, man, another great role.
Yeah.
Gordy the Weatherman on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, but he played the hardworking father James Evans in Good Times. He was nominated.
I think he was the best in Good Times. Man, he was great.
Well, you know what the story is on that, don't you?
Yeah, the show, yeah.
Well, no, that he left.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, so check this out. After 3 seasons, he goes in. I think he'd gone in a little before the 3 seasons, and he wasn't happy with the way his character was being portrayed. And
are you mixing him up with McLean Stevenson and MASH?
I don't believe McLean had that same issue. McLean was getting offers, I think, from the outside. Yeah. You know more about McLean than I do. But on this one, I'd heard he went in and said, hey, I'm not happy with the way this character is being portrayed as head of the family, and I'm not happy with Jimmy Walker being portrayed kind of in that jokey way, that Dynamite thing.
Yeah.
And I guess the back and forth got a bit contentious, and then in season 3, they killed him off.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I mean...
So they went with Dynamite instead of John Amos.
And you know, I'm sure they tried to make a deal, but he was a little bit
wild.
resistant.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hardworking father James Evans in Good Times. He was nominated for an Emmy for playing an older Kunta Kinte in Roots, and he was an owner of a McDonald's-like hamburger chain in Coming to America. Later in life, Amos would play the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on TV's The West Wing. John Amos has died at the age of 84.
Ah, what a life. What a great life that man had. When we come back, Steve Greger will be...
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they need and want, starting at Silver Key status every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast, so why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
With us, Mark Thompson's with us, and Steve Gregory's with us. And I asked Steve to help me out today. We did an event for LAPD, and I still don't even know what we did. And I don't know what was it, a seminar?
It was a wellness day.
A wellness day.
And it was a department mandated wellness day.
Oh, okay. And it was there's probably about 70 cops there.
And when it comes to wellness, everyone thinks of you and me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it was a cool event. It was out at the Porter Valley Country Club.
I'd never been there before. It was really
Beautiful.
nice up there.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many country clubs are in the valley.
Yeah, and we don't belong to any of them.
No, we don't make that kind of money.
That's right. Oh, no, but Mark, you probably have a country
Mark does.
club.
I do not, but I appreciate that you think I would.
You've never been involved with a country club?
Okay, so I have been. I was a member of Riviera.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. From nothing to Riviera?
It's a pretty good story, only in that I wanted to. It was like running for Congress, getting in. You had to get like 5 letters to recommend you. It's expensive too, and
how much was it?
It was a lot.
Like $100,000?
It was a lot. I just want to say it was a lot.
Right.
But it was.
Oh, come on, man! You're not paying it now. Tell us.
It was also. Well, you can Google it. It'll probably.
By the way, when we say have you ever been in a country club and you said no, and then you come up with the premier one in the world?
No, you didn't say have you ever been in. You said you're.
Are you in a country club?
You said no one's. You said none of us are in any of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And you said and you're not in. I said no, I'm not in.
How much does it cost to play Riviera Country Club? The initiation fees
unless
are $300,000 initiation fee.
No, that's not what I. Please, don't give people that idea.
It says right here.
I know, but that's
initiation fee, a tax exempt fee of $300.
But he did it when John Amos was on Good Times.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and but it was.
Annual dues, $1,600 per individual.
It was just to get
$1,600 a year.
I think it was more than that.
It's got to be more than that.
No, it's got to be more than that.
Here's what happened.
Do you get a food bonus?
Yeah, you have a food minimum, which means you have to you have to spend a certain amount, and if you don't spend it, they just bill you it.
Oh, $25,000 to $40,000.
Yeah, so basically you pay all this money up front, and then there's a monthly charge. Now back then I was living. In Brentwood, and it was right down the road, and I was...
Did you eat there every day?
I loved eating. I loved eating and reading the paper there and doing all that stuff. And then I got hurt.
Smoking a cigar?
It was that kind of place. Larry David was there, and Tom Brady.
Is that right?
Yeah, Glenn Campbell, Humphrey Bogart, Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah, I didn't see
Howard
Humphrey
Hughes,
Bogart, but
Chevy Chase, Dudley Moore.
Didn't see any of those people.
Billy Barty.
It was Billy Barty would have been fun. Yeah, but anyway, great grab at Billy Barty. Yeah, believe he passed away, but yeah.
You dumped that.
Anyway.
That's unbelievable. That was just dumped.
God bless him.
I just made that comment about the golf course, and they dumped that here.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Well, we were just talking about foul play. Billy Barty was in foul play.
Yeah, that's right.
He was a Bible salesman.
He was a Bible salesman in life, wow. and then so it wasn't a stretch.
I'm impressed that Gregory really knows that foul play movie well.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn was great.
Yeah. She was a Chevy Chase when he was normal.
Rachel Roberts was in that. Delia
Don't look at me. I don't remember the movie at all. It was in San Francisco.
Yeah, it all took place.
Remember that song that was "Ready to Take a Chance"?
Barry Manilow.
Yeah, and Charlie Fox wrote that song.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, and then Dudley Moore played the symphony conductor.
Oh, yeah. All right. So anyway, Steve was here to talk about immigration. We ran out of time. Nice to see you, bub.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
It's Conway Show. Mark Thompson's here, and we welcome Steve Gregory to talk about Sean Diddy Combs.
Bad vibes for the Diddy camp.
What's going on with Sean Diddy Combs?
Well, today, an attorney in Texas announced he is representing 120 different lawsuits against Diddy for alleged sexual assault and sexually related crimes. And more than 3,000 people had approached this attorney.
What?
Even before the indictment of Combs, alleging that they were involved in some sort of molestation, assault. Some of them claimed they were drugged at parties.
How did he get away with that for so long?
Well, and that's the big question. And the way that the attorney, Tony Busby, described it is that at the time, Diddy had juice. He was powerful. He had, the key to the kingdom to a lot of different music labels. He had his own label. He had a lot of things going on. And as same thing in Weinstein and these other cases, no one ever came forward, according to this attorney, because A, they were afraid of retaliation, or B, they were afraid they were never going to get into the business.
Wow.
So a lot of people lived in that fear.
Hard to believe that he had such a pumping career, as you say, all that juice, and he still had all this time for what apparently were thousands of, these alleged sexual assaults.
Well, interestingly, the attorney said that after more than 3,000 approached the law firm, they settled on 120 of these cases. 60 of them are women and 60 are men.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And
yin yang.
The alleged assaults took place from 1991 up to this year. And in that time span, one of the victims at the time of the alleged abuse was 9 years old.
I didn't know that. I thought Diddy was... are you sure about this?
Yes, I'm sure. That's what the attorney said. And another victim was 14 years old and one was 15 years old.
Wait a minute. No, I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about he was bisexual?
All I'm telling you is that 60 of the people,
what were the men's... Was it a sexual assault?
Yeah, these are all related to sexual assault claims.
Wait, so he had 60 males suing him for sexual assault.
Part of these cases are going to involve others in Diddy's camp. So they also talked about the fact that, in fact, the attorney said, we are going to name names.
Really?
And he said, we are preparing all of this now. And he said, and you will all be shocked.
Names we know.
That's what he said. We will be naming names, and that time's coming. And he says, he's got an investigator now that used to be with the Houston Police Department, and he brought him on board full time. And they are now investigating all 120 of these claims. And it's not going to be a class action suit. A lot of people thought that because there were so many, he is going to file every one of those individually.
So this will wipe him out financially.
Potentially, sure. Now, Diddy's camp did come out and say they vehemently deny all of these claims, saying that this is just part and parcel to this media circus that's been created around this indictment.
Wow.
And he still remains in jail.
But
he's still on suicide watch.
It's amazing through the Me Too movement and how aware people are nowadays with what you can and can't do, especially in the workplace, that he was able to get away with that for so long.
Yeah, in the years I've been covering stuff like
Allegedly.
this, I'm also, a little skeptical, I guess, on a lot of these claims, because it does take one person usually to file, and then everyone jumps on the bandwagon, because you don't know whether or not these are true victims. And I'm not trying to discount anyone who's been victimized by anything like this. But sometimes we do learn later that a lot of these people are just sort of lawsuits of opportunity because they know they're going to settle. Hardly any of these will ever go to court.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's crazy. So why Houston though? Why were all these filed in Houston?
This particular attorney apparently is well known for going after high profile people. One of them was Eric Sklar was telling me earlier that this is the same attorney that went after some pro athlete for very similar charges. And did the same thing, got a bunch of people together that were allegedly victimized.
And how did that work out?
I don't know, but...
Yeah, I wonder what this guy's track record is, but...
He looks like... I was watching the press conference, and, he's got a pretty high-end looking office. It looks like he does pretty well.
Yeah. Well, 120 cases, you're saying they're going to file them all separately? Even if you have an on-base percentage there of,
well, you
500.
If you look at the Weinstein cases right now and the payouts he's had to do... Cosby,
sure,
the money that he's had to pay out. Kevin Spacey, the money he's had to pay out, and a lot of these never ended up in court. A lot of these civil cases,
and a lot of money goes to the lawyers too.
At least a third.
Yeah. Well, but how much is he worth? How much is Diddy worth?
Oh, geez,
that's a very good question.
I would think in the tens of millions.
Oh my God, no! I think he might be
$500 million.
Remember, this came up with in relation to something else as to whether or not he was a billionaire.
Billionaire, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's worth $1 billion. He's got these 120 lawsuits. And this is just going to go up because the 2,900 or 2,880 that were rejected by that law firm will be picked up by somebody else.
Probably.
A lot of them.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing about it, and attorneys will tell you, is that a lot of times those attorneys are going to do all the legwork, they'll do all the investigation, and then they'll get a lot of that stuff going on, and then these other people can sort of coattail.
Can you imagine the pressure that guy's under? I mean, he went from world famous, huge mansion worth $25-30 million, private jet, now sitting in a cell.
On suicide watch.
Yeah, on suicide watch.
CelebrityNetWorth.com says he's net worth $600 million.
Oh, okay.
$600 million.
I had it here. Diddy Combs' net worth estimated to be around $1 billion.
What's the source?
MichaelCrozier.com. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird?
Contradicting himself again.
Everything that you look up now online, you have to be careful because the first thing that pops up is an AI version of information.
Right.
Just FYI.
Right. Yeah.
Google
AI
anything,
overview.
the first thing comes up with AI, and so often it's wrong.
It says $1 billion on Fortune.
Yeah, and I'd read $1 billion.
What's the date on that?
I'd read $1 billion also.
March 24.
March of this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This says September 17th, 2024, $600 million.
I think he's trying to get rid of a lot of this money.
Yeah.
So he doesn't pay it off. Diddy's on Fortune magazine. Well, whatever it is, whether it's $600 million or $1 billion.
And that was one of the things that I remember Kardashian had told O.J. Simpson when things started to first go south with O.J. Simpson and the murder trial happened. He had O.J. transfer all of his assets to Florida and put them in a trust under his kid's name to protect his money. I remember that happening pretty quickly when they saw the writing on the wall and they didn't know how it was going to go down. I remember Kardashian. That's when everything moved to Florida because they had that. I believe it was the Homestead Act where they couldn't take his home.
Yeah, well, that's why he lived there too.
Yeah,
because they couldn't touch his pension.
Right, NFL pension, SAG-AFTRA pension, those were all protected. But the other,
I think that's the only real way to get people to move to Florida.
is protect your pension or the Homestead Act.
I think you want to.
Well, here's the thing, but OJ was never allowed to go back there after his parole.
Where, to Florida?
No, he died in Vegas. He lived and died in Vegas.
Wait, he wasn't. They
refused him entry after his parole.
Oh, is that right?
You didn't know that? I was sitting in the parole room up in Carson City when that happened. And
wait, a state can refuse you?
Yeah, they didn't sign up. They didn't sign up on the parole because he had to be placed in some place, or he had to be sent to a place that would accept him because the state parole system has to take care of his weekly check-in and all that other stuff.
Right.
And if the state's prison system doesn't sign off on it, in this case, it was the state attorney general of Florida. They're like, no, we're not signing off on this. So he was stuck in purgatory at the time.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They didn't accept him in Florida?
They didn't accept him in Florida.
Man, that's extraordinary.
No, they said we don't want a murderer in our state.
Wow,
that's wild.
So he ended up having to stay in Vegas.
That's crazy, buddy. I appreciate coming in. Thanks for doing that thing with me this morning.
It was fun. It was a good time.
LAPD.
Yeah. Always a pleasure.
You were a great warm-up guy.
I just like, what do they want me to talk about? I'm not the funny guy.
You're there to make Tim look funny.
I had to appeal to their a more serious tone. With them.
You bum them out, and then Tim comes on.
That's exactly what I did.
Conway was great
because I talked about the media.
He comes
and
in
cops.
And talks about dead kids, and I'm like, oh, that's Steve Gregory. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, in the background.
Yeah. No, buddy, you were a huge hit. All right, buddy, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, 10-8-10-10. He's gone. All right, it's Conway and Thompson, 6 p.m. tonight, 1 hour from now, the big debate, CBS News vice presidential debate, 6 p.m. tonight. Walls and Vance, Vance and Walls. Ding dong with them. We're live on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.